He carries a name the world already knows, and a weight most children never choose. Ziggy Marley stepped into the public eye, wrapped in his father's shadow, expected to echo a revolution in rhythm while finding a voice that was unmistakably his own. His legacy is not just inheritance, it's the long work of stewardship, protecting a global message of love while navigating protests, politics, family disputes, and the glare of fame that never turns off. The challenge has always been this: how to honor a legend without becoming one by imitation. Born David Nesta Marley on October 17, 1968 in Kingston, Jamaica, Ziggy grew up in rooms where guitars leaned against walls like spare limbs and drums waited to be woken. His father, Bob Marley, didn't just teach him chords, he let him witness the work. Late-night studio sessions, arguments over lyrics, the discipline of returning to a song until it told the truth. By 10, Ziggy was already sitting in on recordings with the Wailers, absorbing the rhythm of a life where music was mission. His mother, Rita Marley, grounded the household in harmony and faith, her voice steady when the world outside felt loud. Childhood split between Kingston and Wilmington taught him to live between worlds. In Jamaica, the streets carried bass lines. In the U.S., classrooms asked him to be a regular kid with an irregular last name. He learned early that legacy travels with you into every room, and that sometimes you have to carry it quietly. At his father's urging, Ziggy gathered his siblings and formed Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers. The band's early years were scrappy: borrowed studios, long rehearsals, the pressure of proving they weren't just heirs. When Conscious Party broke through, the applause felt earned. Grammys followed. Yet even as crowds sang back the choruses, Ziggy learned the private discipline of leadership, keeping family aligned when fame tries to pull people apart. Going solo meant standing alone under that bright, inherited light. Albums like Dragonfly, Love Is My Religion, and Fly Rasta carried a gentler insistence: faith without dogma, politics without cruelty, joy without naivety. He built his own lane with Tough Gom Worldwide, choosing ownership over shortcuts. When he turned to children's music with Family Time, it wasn't a pivot, it was a continuation of the lesson he'd lived. Music is a way of raising people. His voice traveled beyond albums. You could hear him in Shark Tale and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, a familiar warmth tucked into animated worlds. As a producer on Bob Marley, One Love, he faced the delicate work of telling a story the world thinks it already knows, choosing which truths to foreground, knowing some would say he chose wrong. He wrote children's books like Music is in Everything, reminding families that rhythm lives in ordinary gaze. The hardest chapters weren't written in music. His public support for Israel and signing a letter with Creative Community for Peace sparked protests, including at WOMAD Adelaide. He denied allegations of fundraising for the Israel Defense Forces, but the backlash lingered. On stage, flags waved. Offstage, questions followed him home. Family estate disputes added another layer of strain. Inheritance isn't just wealth, it's unresolved grief that keeps showing up to meetings. Through it all, Ziggy kept returning to a steady refrain: dignity without demonizing, conversation without cruelty. At home, the noise softens. Married to Orly Angai Marley, he leans into a family-first rhythm, collaborating with his kids, turning bedtime into songwriting and the kitchen into a classroom. His business life mirrors that groundedness, whether launching Ziggy Marley Organics or choosing when to step back from touring. Even his spaces, homes in Los Angeles and ties to Kingston, feel like pauses between long verses. The legacy he carries is not a monument, it's a practice. Some days it looks like a Grammy shelf, other days it looks like a difficult interview, a protested concert, a family meeting that runs late. Ziggy Marley's story isn't the story of becoming his father, it's the story of becoming himself, again and again, while keeping the door open for the world to hear what One Love can sound like in a new voice.